Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you've been at this trying to quit pornography for any length of time and you're still stuck, caught up, and not living a life of freedom, chances are you're doing some things wrong or you're making some mistakes in your recovery. Or maybe you're finding this video, maybe you're finding this podcast right at the beginning of your journey. You've just had the revelation that, hey, my addiction to pornography is holding me back and I'm committed to getting out of this. We want to help make sure that you don't make the mistakes, the most common mistakes that we see men make. Over the last 4.5 years, I've been fortunate to have thousands of conversations, thousands of consultations with men. We've had close to 900 men join us in our Reboot Your Life programs. Through that, I've been able to hear from men that are caught up and stuck, sometimes for years, sometimes for decades. But we've also seen those same men begin to take the right steps, begin to stop making the same mistakes, find freedom very quickly. 30, 60, 90 days, lives have been transformed, relationships restored, intimacy reconnected, purposes being pursued, men feeling accomplished and fulfilled in the pursuit of the men that they've been called to be. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, I want to give you the 10 most common mistakes that we've seen men make in their journeys through recovery to becoming a porn-free man. Now, some of you are probably currently making these mistakes. Some of you have probably made these mistakes in the past, and this will resonate with you. And like we said, some of you are just embarking on this journey here today. We want to help you speed this recovery process up so you cannot stay in the cycle and you can find that life of freedom, the one that you were ultimately called to live. Before we get too deep into the mistakes, guys, let me take a quick moment and thank you for joining us here today. This is the Rebuilt Man podcast. We are dedicated to helping men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their lives. And if you're getting value out of these episodes, take a moment right now, pause the episode or after listening to today. If you would take a moment and leave us a 5-star rating and written review. And if you're watching here on the YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys, and turn those post notifications on so you're notified every single day when a new episode is released. But the 10 most common mistakes, guys, this list is not the entire list. These are the most common mistakes, though. And like I said, many of you have made them or are currently making them at the moment. And the biggest mistake that we see guys make is secrecy. It's not telling anyone or trying to go about their recovery by themselves. I believe there's something that is holding you back in your life, something that you are doing and you're not having a conversation about getting out of it, about breaking free. That thing is holding power over you. There's a reason why you're not having conversations with people. There's a reason why you haven't brought anybody into this journey with you. And it's probably because you're worried about the judgment. You're worried about the guilt, the shame that comes with this addiction. And that in of itself is the biggest mistake that I've seen men make. Allowing the past behaviors to dictate how you see yourself. Living in shame and guilt about the things that you've done in the past will prevent you from creating the life that you're desiring in the future. So if you haven't told anybody, that oftentimes is the biggest thing that begins to move you towards freedom. Because once you have that conversation with somebody and you realize that it doesn't come with guilt, it doesn't come with shame, it doesn't come with judgment. And in fact, most men that you talk to will understand. So find that right person in your life and stop trying to go about this recovery alone. Mistake number 2 is we see men that are married making their wives, or men that are in relationships making their girlfriend their accountability partner. I've spoke at length about why I think this shifts the dynamic of a relationship and empowers the woman to operate and act as a mother to you. And she will take that role on unconsciously and not understand how it's changing how she sees you. And it comes with lack of respect, lack of trust. Now, yes, your wife should know what's going on in your recovery. She should be kept up to date, but assigning her the responsibility of making sure that you're following through on the things that you need to be doing, or to assign her the responsibility of being your accountability partner or checking your apps is only going to create more tension, more distrust, and lower the respect that she has for you. So mistake number 2 is having your wife or your girlfriend as your accountability partner. Mistake number 3 is thinking that this addiction and use of pornography has anything to do with your high sex drive. You may or may not told you this. I have to watch porn because my wife doesn't have the sex drive that I do. I have to watch porn because I'm just a high testosterone driven man. Think about the times that you watch porn. Are you actually thinking about sex? Are you sexually turned on? Or are you running from stress, anxiety, and other internal feelings? Your addiction to pornography has nothing to do with your sex drive. Mistake number 4 is not changing anything about your current environments. This is one that we see a lot of men continue to struggle. They're like, Frank, I keep relapsing in my bed with my phone late at night. The answer there is to stop taking your phone into your bed late at night, not to figure out how to navigate the same environments. In order for things to change in your life, things have to change in your life. And not changing your environment, not changing your workstation, not changing how you operate and the boundaries that you put and use with your technology and your phones will keep you stuck in the same patterns. So mistake number 4 is not changing anything about our environments. Number 5 is not prioritizing your physical health through recovery. Physical health, including your gut health, your nutrition, your exercise, dropping weight if necessary, building more muscle, dedicating yourself to a physical transformation. It's my belief that all successful transformations are going to start with a physical transformation first. And oftentimes, if you're fat, overweight, out of shape, and addicted to porn, getting fit, healthy, and getting in shape will boost your confidence to give you the belief system within yourself that, yes, I can conquer this porn addiction. We've also talked a lot on the Superhuman Life podcast about the role that our gut health plays in our mental health and our emotional health. So understanding that these little things about how we take care of ourselves and show up and love ourselves. So mistake number 5 is not having a health component to your recovery and a fitness component to your recovery. Number 6 is one that I hear a lot is I'm trying to stay busy or I'm trying to distract myself. No man, no human being is going to be busy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if your path to not looking at pornography is simply you focusing your attention elsewhere, what's going to happen when you're forced to be in silence and isolation? If anything, I think the path to recovery is learning to sit in silence and be comfortable in it. So instead of constantly needing to be stimulated and busy, learn to sit at rest and find peace and solace in the quiet times. Mistake number 7 is relying on accountability apps or different softwares that are out there to block the pornography. It's a band-aid on a much bigger stab wound in your life. You got to get to the root of the issue. You can't live in a world where you don't have access to certain things. That's you saying, hey, I can't have that thing. And the internal nature within man is going to be to want to have that thing even more. Now, can you use apps and softwares in a successful recovery plan? Surely it can be a tool in your arsenal. But simply thinking that, hey, if I block this site, I'm never going to look at it, or I'm never going to want to look at it again, is a false belief. Number 8 is for the single men out there. While you're in recovery, I recommend putting a pause on the dating in your life. So the biggest mistake I see a lot of single men make is that they continue to date and pursue intimate relationships with women. I was having a conversation with a coaching client yesterday. Early on in getting to meet somebody, there's going to be that sexual tension. There's going to be nights where you guys are together, you go out on a date, but then you drop her home and then you're back at home by yourself in the triggering based environments, thinking about her, Oh, she smelled good tonight. Man, she looked really great. That's an environment that while you're navigating your recovery and learning to conquer and master your sexual desires, you shouldn't put yourself into. And I've gone as far as saying no man should pursue an intimate relationship until he's fully mastered and conquered his sexual desires. And I believe that. So if you're single out there, hit that pause button, 3 months, 6 months, work on yourself before you step back out into the dating marketplace. And number 9 is for the married men. And it's while you're navigating this recovery journey, it's not dating your wife. That's a mistake, especially if the porn has impacted the connection and intimacy between the two of you. That should be priority number 1 in your life. Is how do I bring that back in to my marriage? So for the single guys, stop dating. For the married men, start dating. 8 and 9. And number 10, guys, this will keep you addicted. And it's simply giving up when things get difficult. The only way that you will stay addicted to porn forever is if you give up on trying to become free. Your journey may be longer than others. It may take a handful of years. It may take 3 days. It may take 3 months. It may take 33 days. I don't know. But the only way I can guarantee that you would stay addicted is if you give up in the pursuit of creating freedom in your life. Guys are having breakthrough every single day. And if they're doing it, that means that you can do it. But you will not do it if you give up. So those are the 10 common mistakes, guys. Not telling anybody or trying to go about it alone, having your wife or girlfriend as your accountability partner, thinking that the addiction has anything to do with your sex drive, not changing anything about your environments, not prioritizing your health and fitness in your recovery, trying to stay busy and or distracted, relying on accountability apps and or software. For the single men, it's continuing to date and pursue relationships. For the married men, it's not dating their wives. And number 10 is for all the men, it's giving up too early or giving up when things get difficult, guys. I hope that was helpful. I hope it prevents you from making these most common mistakes, or if you've already made them, it's going to give you the insight to never make them again. Now, if you're looking for some steps and you're looking for a blueprint to walk you through how to overcome this addiction once and for all, we've put together a 12-step training. We've completely revamped the approach to training, to recovery. Visit rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps. We're going to give you free access to the training guides and an opportunity to go deeper into your recovery and pursuing a life of freedom. Rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps. We'll link it down there in the show notes on the YouTube channel description box below. But Coach Frank of the Rebuilt Man, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.